So welcome to Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc, the wildest tag team in podcasting, where the kayfabe drops and the chaos takes over. Let's ring the damn bell.
Headlocks tight, heels on the prowl, dropping elbows, hearing growl, feel the foul. No script here, just real, no bluff. Kayfabe crack, now the dirt gets rough. Headlocks, heels, havoc in the zone. Stepping in the ring, chaos at your home. No filters, no mask, just raw pants on. Wrestling unscripted, we on the throne. Title bells, mic checks, crowd going crazy. Drop truth bombs, leaving lines feeling hazy. Beyond the kayfabe, past the charade, where legends are born and stories get made. Headlocks poppin', who's hitting the mat? Welcome to the havoc where the real talk's at. Tune in, step through, leave the fake at the door. Headlocks, heels, havoc, now hear the roar.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I am, of course, one half of the greatest tag team in this podcasting world. It's me. It's at LEGEND, the legend J-Mac. And with me, as always, is everybody's favorite uncle and my tag team partner, Uncle Slam.
What's up, family, and welcome to the People's Podcast.
Now, tonight, we are taking a different journey into the world of professional wrestling. We often talk about championships, legendary rivalries, unforgettable promos, and of course the greatest matches ever contested, which we'll be doing in our next show with the tournament. But tonight, we are celebrating another side of this incredible business, the artistic side. Professional wrestling has inspired generations of fans, and one talented artist has found a unique way to honor some of the most influential women ever to lace up a pair of boots. Our guest has created a remarkable collection of acrylic paintings that capture far more than just the likeness of these athletes. Every portrait tells a story of passion, determination, perseverance, and the personalities that have shaped women's wrestling through the decades. His work has become instantly recognizable to wrestling fans and collectors alike, proving that wrestling isn't just entertainment, it's inspiration. So grab your favorite beverage, jump into the live chat, click that like, share, follow, and subscribe. Let us know where you're watching from. And don't forget to hit all those buttons and do all those things, because tonight is going to be a fascinating conversation that blends wrestling history with incredible artistic talent. Now, let's welcome our special guest, GB Hettrick. Our guest tonight is a self-taught acrylic painter whose artwork has become one of the most recognizable collections celebrating women in professional wrestling. Through HettrickArt, I hope I'm saying that and I ain't killing it. He has dedicated countless hours to capturing the strength, beauty, determination, and individuality of the women who have helped shape this industry. His paintings don't simply recreate photographs, they tell stories and preserve moments that wrestling fans will appreciate for generations to come. So please welcome the artist behind HettrickArt, GB Hettrick. How you doing today?
I'm good. I just want to ask you, could you repeat all that? I want to write it down.
That's why I needed a big drink of water after all that.
Sounds great. How you doing, guys?
I'm doing great. Awesome. Glad to have you here. This is definitely good. Yeah, it's you know, when you reached out to me and you was like, hey, maybe we could do a show sometime about, you know, art and wrestling and stuff and everything. I was like, how would that even go? You know, how do we talk about art and wrestling at the same time? You know, it was crazy. But, you know, the more I got to thinking about it, it was like, you know, well, you're no different than a photographer at ringside. You're capturing moments of these, you know, particular wrestlers. In your case, it's, you know, the women's side of wrestling and everything. So, yeah, just tell us a little bit about you and how you got started and stuff and everything. Floor is yours.
How I got started painting or painting wrestlers?
Well, let's go let's do it all.
Okay. In 2008, I moved to California, my wife, and he was working out of town, and I didn't have very much to do at the time. So I randomly picked up a couple canvases and some paint at Michael's, came home and did 2 paintings of each of, we had mini dachshunds at the time. So I did these really crude paintings of Fighting and Pork Chop and put them on, Facebook. That was new to Facebook. And a woman saw them when I posted them, a lady from Youngstown, Ohio, and she wrote me and said, "Would you do a painting of my dog?" I said, "Sure, I could do that." And she offered to pay me. I never planned to do this. I was a musician. I was a front man in New York City for 12 years. Never planned on getting into art, really. I used to draw a lot in school and things, but this whole section of my life is completely unplanned. So anyway, this lady, she had me paint her dog, and then I got another private message, and it was somebody else. And they said, "Hey, could you do one for me?" I am glad to tell you that it's very rare that I'm without a commission in the chamber. People have been so supportive of me from the very beginning. I feel like I have an earned life. I really do. I just keep getting work. It just never stops, and I don't know, what is it, 18 years later? It turned into a career for me, and it turned into a thing for me. It's just been a crazy ride. And it was all the first 8 or 10 years. It was all animals. I was a pet portrait guy. Okay. So that just kept going and going. And a few people started asking me, "Would you paint, my grandfather, or something?" And like, nah, I'll never get to the point where I'm going to be able to sit down and make a human being look like a human being on canvas, But I started playing with it, and I'm self-taught completely, and just kept figuring out ways, and I would sit with the canvas for 5 or 6 days, and I would just keep painting and scratching it up and painting some more, and I would not get up until the painting looked like the person, So I just kept doing that, and it turned into a major thing for me. I started doing a lot of like Universal Monsters stuff, really took off. I've done a whole series of like Young Frankenstein the entire time. So I really got into like the Hollywood side of it. People have had me paint Audrey Hepburn, Marilyn Monroe, Jane Mansfield, stuff like that. And that's how I was going. I was like the Hollywood painter guy that did dog paintings too. And then, I took a major turn in my career when I came up against wrestling.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I take it you have been and we discussed this a little bit when we were talking. So you've been a wrestling fan all your life and everything. Like, how old were you when you started watching, and what wrestling is it that you grew up on? Because some people grew up on the NWA, some people grew up watching AWA and ECW. So what wrestling did you grow up watching?
Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes.
Okay. Yeah. You missed it then a couple of weeks ago, because we had a couple of people on our show when we were doing the NWA portion of our tournament bracket. And Bobby Blade, I don't know if you've ever had the pleasure of meeting him. He's a great guy, great wrestler, manager, commentator. He's just great, but gives me a new one every time he comes on here and everything. But another friend of ours, Warhammer, and another friend of ours who's going to be on our next show, Professor Bear, they all three decided to go into Dusty Idol doing the show. I mean, there were more Dusty impersonations that night than I've ever seen in my life, and it was absolute entertainment the entire time.
Hilarious. They had me in tears.
Yes, they did. So you're an old NWA and Mid-South, Crockett, and all that stuff and everything fan. So who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
It was definitely Flair.
Flair. Okay.
Yeah, well, I kind of grew up and wanted to be a rock star, and I think I had that as a kid too. And Ric Flair was a rock star. It was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
the
Everybody knows.
epitome.
I've always said that, like, it's crazy because in the 80s, you can use so many different analogies and stuff. And I've always said that, like, in the 80s, WWF was kind of like the Lakers, and NWA was like the Celtics.
Sure.
And in the same, uh, in the same vein of that, Dusty was the Celtics, Flair was the, Lakers and
I
everything,
get it.
the glitz and glamour and everything. I don't know why I've always kind of looked at wrestling like that, and I'm a Celtic fan, so, I like the common man stuff, Now Uncle Slam over here, he's a Laker fan, so
Yes, sir.
we'll,
Yes, sir.
we'll forgive him
Showtime
for
over
that.
here. See the purple in the back right there.
I do.
So you describe yourself as a self-taught acrylic painter. What inspired you to what inspired you to pick up a paintbrush in the first place? But then what inspired you to, just start getting into painting the ladies of wrestling?
What inspired me to pick up a brush? Funny you would ask. When I was in this band in New York City, of course, you don't make any money doing that. So I had a day job, and I was an art mover, which I don't think that exists in many cities. But I worked for a company that I'd get in a van, drive to a museum, wrap up a Picasso in bubble wrap, throw it in the back of the van, and take it to the airport, stuff like that. And setting up gallery shows and working at the Met and going to all these famous artists' houses and celebrity clients and all this stuff. So I did the job for about 12 years, transporting art, creating art, shipping it. Wasn't painting involved. It took me a 3,000-mile move to sit down and pick up a paintbrush. It just never occurred to me to do that when I was in New York, and I was just literally surrounded by art, I watched Roy Lichtenstein work in his studio when he was 35, but it just never occurred to me to do something like that. I worked with all artists, they were all kind of vagabond misfits, like working at this company. And it took me getting out of it and kind of being bored to get into painting. It was just something to do because I was bored, and I had no idea it was going to turn into my life.
That's awesome. I mean, it's crazy how, well, it's just like, me and Uncle Slam. 2 years ago, we would have probably laughed if we said that in 2.5 years, you'll be sitting down doing a podcast every Friday night, and yeah, go ahead, Uncle Sam. I know you was going to say something. Go ahead.
I was like, yeah, because we're almost complete opposites when it comes to pretty much everything, whether it's sports, politics, whatever. We're always pretty much opposite when it comes to things, and somehow we're one, like the best of friends, and two, we have our own podcast where we get to argue about stuff all the time. So I guess
it's great. Opposite attract, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. But I also think that the beauty of it is that we've also, with our friendship, we've also said that nothing we're arguing about is that important to, get that heavily pissed off about, I guess is the best way to say it. Because it's not, just because I think the Celtics are the best and he thinks the Lakers are the best, that don't mean we're right. It's our opinion.
In any kind of niche like that, you can go to a Star Wars collector's group, and there's going to be arguments over, the Vader's the coolest.
Right.
I think that's in every little niche kind of group.
I 100% agree. 100% agree. So, was there a specific moment when you realized, well, I guess you kind of touched on that art wasn't just going to be a hobby and that it was something you were going to really pursue seriously and say, hey, you said, I didn't know it was going to become a career, but when did that, realization dawn on you that, oh, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to stop doing the 9 to 5?
Well, a couple years into it, um, the commissions were just crazy at the time. I mean, I was getting paid to sit around and paint dogs and cats all day, you know.
Right.
It's an easy life, you know. I make it much more complicated now. But back then it was a pretty easy life. And I basically was willing to go all the way with that and make it work because I would rather die than get a regular job. I don't fit with that. I tried that. I had 16 jobs in my life. The New York stretch was really good. I was able to hang on to that one. That was the longest employment I've ever had in my life. Anything else I ever tried, nothing, you know, and I needed something. I can't just go to a job that I hate and punch in and punch out. So I pretty much sold out to the fact that I gotta make this work, you know, and the money was coming in, and it was enough to, I was breaking even, I'll say that, you know, I was able to buy my materials and kind of keep going. And, you know, my wife was working at a bank, and it was, you know, there was enough money to pay the rent and stuff. So it was kind of went with that. You become an artist, you know, and it worked out somehow.
I'm
Do
telling
you
you,
still
man.
do the animal paintings, or are you still, or are you strictly just people now?
I am painting a basset hound right now.
Okay,
I never stopped. I do those. I can do a pet portrait a little quicker than a human portrait, a lot quicker. So I kind of do those in between. I take my customers, you know, I take my clients kind of in between my passion projects, you know. And it works out pretty good that way because I get to do a little bit of both, and it kind of keeps me exercised in both fields, you know.
Okay. How long does it normally take you to do say a portrait of an animal or a person?
Well, my dogs and cats, I can get a majority of those done in a day, but it's a long day. So I'll say 2. I usually do touch up the second day. Now, a piece like this, this is, you're looking at 5 or 6 days, and they're long days. I know these look simple, but they're not, man. There's 6 layers of paint under Freya's face to make her face look like that, you know? I invented this process. I'm sure it's completely wrong. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I stick with the canvas until it looks like Freya. So, yeah, that's a good week. Those were a good week. Yeah, that's about it.
You know, Uncle Sam, he was talking about how, you know, the 9 to 5 thing just wasn't for him. I was going to say 20, 25 years ago, man, me and him been best friends.
Yeah.
I wasn't known a long time ago for holding down a job for very long, if at all, for certain
Oh
times.
man, I screwed up so many jobs. They gave me this job at a brake place one time, Brake Masters, you know? Like, okay, I'll work at Brake Masters for a while. They had me grinding the discs, you know, like redoing the whatever they call that. I don't know. I was doing. I'm sure I was doing that crap wrong. There were probably fender benders all over town because of it.
It's like, how many insurance companies are coming after you
Yeah,
today?
exactly. That's why I'm not using my real name. I'm GB now, you see.
Right. Hey, I get it.
There
You
you
know,
go.
I totally get it. You know, what is it? The Dragnet says we've changed the names to protect the innocent and everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh man. So who were some of your well, you've talked about your favorite wrestler of all time was Ric Flair, but who were some of your other like inspirational wrestlers, guys you looked up to that, you know, really kept you interested in wrestling as you grew up and grew older?
Well, when I was a kid and we started getting WWF, that like kind of changed everything. You know, I was the right age for Hulk Hogan to come walking, you know, and just look at him like a god. You know, it was my whole family was in Hulk Hogan, you know. Those original guys, those original WWF guys, Piper and Macho Man, Junkyard Dog,
Yep.
there's so many great characters. It was that early WWF that we were just glued to it all the time. Every
Okay.
chance we could get. Yeah.
Sounds like about like me and Uncle Slam for the most part and everything,
I don't know how old you guys are. I'm probably older than you a little bit.
I'm
I don't know.
47.
I'm almost 50. I'll be 48 in January, so
I'm 50 now.
okay. Well, yeah, you're about 10 years older, but hey,
Yeah.
only old enough to be our brother, not not our dad or nothing like that. So, still the same. And so but what that does make a difference because that's that same generation. So you grew up on the same wrestling we did and everything. Maybe a few extra years, You had like the San Martino years and the Bob Backlund years and stuff like that.
Right.
Whereas, I remember bits and pieces of that. I don't remember, I couldn't tell you what year Bob Backlund and Bruno San Martino sold out Madison Square Garden or this, that, and the other. But I can tell you exactly where I was when Hulk slammed Andre.
Oh,
You
no.
know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that. That's where I
Sure.
kind of came in on it and everything too. So yeah, I get it.
Cool.
So, oh, go ahead.
No.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something. Okay.
No.
All right. So, see, this what made you just decide, hey, I'm going to start painting professional wrestling and just, so do you only do the women or is that just kind of like a thing you're doing right now?
Well, it's a thing that I'm doing right now, but I've been doing it for about 3 years.
Okay.
So it's my thing, I did do a British Bulldog piece for Georgia.
Okay.
She's got that. I think I did a Paul Bearer piece. But it's really rare. I just there's something about the women, that they're just superheroes to me.
Well, I
Do you have a
mean,
favorite woman wrestler?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite?
Who's
woman
my
wrestler?
favorite?
Yeah.
Right now,
Let's go in the past and right now, like if you can.
my first favorite lady wrestler was Wendy Richter.
Okay.
Man, rock and wrestling.
yep.
Forget
Yep.
I was
I remember.
insane, the Cyndi Lauper music pumping. Best, the best.
Yep.
Now, who's my favorite wrestler? Ooh, it's funny because I know a lot of them now and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. It's Freya. It is. She's my favorite.
Freya the Slayer.
Yeah, she's my buddy. I mean, she's the first. I'll explain it later, but she's the first person that really signed on as an official muse for HettrickArt. One that I was going to work with multiple times and develop with a bit. I've painted her like 5 times now. So she was the first one to say like, yeah, I'll try that. Let's do it. Like she had no idea who I was. So she gave me a real shot and she really hyped me through. She put out reels about me and stuff and showed off my work to my fans and stuff. She really put in a lot of work. She was great. Yeah, it's great.
That's awesome.
Okay.
And see, that's the way I am. Like we're pretty new. Like we tell people, we're pretty new to the independent scene as far as wrestling goes, because it was always, of course, WWE, WWF, WCW, all the big major organizations and everything. But the respect and just. Just to give you an example, like you said, your favorite is Freya the Slayer. I hope I'm saying I sound so stupid trying to say some of these names sometimes and everything, but it's the accent. But like me, somebody asked me the other day. They said, who's on your Mount Rushmore of wrestling managers? And I of course said Bobby Heenan and Paul Heyman and Jim Cornette, but my fourth is Bobby Blade.
Yeah.
In a year's time, that man has made me just the way he can come out and command an audience is beyond me. And the thing of it is he never has to say one word. I have seen that man walk out and try to get a promo done, and he can't because everybody's booing so loud and so long that he can't. His whole shtick that night was to walk out to the ring with a microphone in his hand, turn around, walk back, because he didn't get a chance to say anything. Yeah, and see, that's me. I love the fact that you're especially highlighting a lot of these indie wrestlers and everything because one, it's great that the women are starting to get the recognition that they deserve in the
Absolutely.
professional wrestling world. But it's even more awesome that you're even going a step further and giving the independent women, the look too and everything, where a lot of people, I think, you know, I don't know if people are still on the independents as bought into the women wrestling, and they need to be.
They absolutely
Because
need to be. Those girls work hard as hell. man.
yes, they do. I 100% agree, and I love the fact that you're showcasing them, and putting the spotlight on them. That's what wrestling needs. It needs people to put spotlights on different areas of the business, especially
Right.
the independents. Uncle Slam, did you have something you had to say?
No, I was just checking to see like if you still could hear me clearly.
Oh, we can hear
Yes,
you
sir.
clear, but I think
Okay.
I think it's your camera that the that your voice is coming through and not your
Is it
mic
still picking up
itself.
through the camera?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Hold on, let me try to.
It's okay. We'll continue to talk while you're troubleshooting and stuff and everything. So, what was your first? What you said? Freya was the first lady that you not wrestled, painted in the
Oh
wrestling
no,
business. Oh, okay.
it wasn't. She came a little later. Are you asking how I got into painting wrestling?
Well, no. Well, yes. How did you get into painting, and who was your first?
Sweet Saraya Knight.
Okay, Saraya. That's Paige, isn't it?
That's Paige's mother.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
Paige. Yeah, from WWE Paige.
Right.
Yes.
So I did two paintings. I watched a movie called Fighting with My Family, and I loved it. And I said I was so inspired by their family story that I think I'm going to do a portrait of Saraya Paige and her mother, and just see how that felt. So I did a painting of Sweet Saraya Knight. I did a painting of Saraya, and I put them on Twitter. And Sweet Saraya saw the pieces, and she wrote me. We started a dialogue, and those pieces went to the World Association of Wrestling in Norwich, England. She wanted it. I couldn't believe it.
That's awesome because her family is like really. She's like a royal family over in England.
In Norwich, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like they're like the Rhodes or something like that,
Oh,
Right.
over there.
They
You
were
talking
the
about like wrestling
WAW.
royalty?
They got
Yes.
a school. I mean, it's
Yeah,
incredible.
Soraya's family is like wrestling royalty over in England. I don't know if you knew that, Uncle Slam.
No, like I didn't know that at all.
Yeah,
The entire
actually
family
did,
is involved. Yeah.
they did a movie about her, didn't they? And I'm
Yeah,
trying
well,
to
that's why I did the paintings, because I saw the movie.
What was the movie called? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Fighting with My Family.
That's it. Fighting
Oh,
with My
I
Family.
saw it. Yes, I did see that. I saw that.
Yeah.
That's why I did those two paintings. Man.
That's
It was
awesome.
just a weird thing. It was on Netflix one night, and I was like, yeah, check this out. Change my damn life.
That's and you never,
Oh, that's crazy.
the craziest things have happened like that. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, just from watching a movie.
Right, just sitting there. It's a random Friday night and everything. I'm just going to watch a movie.
So after that, I kind of got the fever. I was like, Sweet Saraya wanted those paintings, and so I started looking around a little bit, and I went back to my early days and I started looking up people, see if I could find them on Facebook. I ended up introducing myself to Princess Victoria
Okay.
and Velvet McIntyre
Okay.
and Judy Martin, Leilani
Okay.
Kai.
Levani
She saw
Kai.
my work on Twitter. So I went through the old guard, you know, and I just started doing these pieces. And my idea was kind of just honor these legends, you know, just contact them, tell them you want to paint them, and send them a painting. You know? So that's the plan I was going with. And in the middle of that, I'm doing my little dog paintings and making the money and kind of just going back and forth, you know. But these people were so appreciative and so helpful, and I talk to Princess Victoria all the time. She's my buddy. You know, I've made so many friends through this. You wouldn't believe who's in my Rolodex. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I
If
know.
you're
I
under
totally.
40, you don't know what a Rolodex is. But,
Well,
anyway,
I'm not going to tell my age, or you can't see all the gray hair. You can see some of it coming back in. But no, yeah, I totally get it. I know what you're saying. Like I tell people all the time, doing this, podcast has given me and Uncle Slam the ability. I've reached out to people. I've reached out to like Mr. Anderson. We've had Mario Mancini on our show, which was an awesome blessing, just to have somebody from that golden era of
sure.
WWE, on the show and everything, and the stories he told. I mean, I don't think we asked two questions all night. We just sit and listen. But
So
just
you
the
just let him
fact,
go?
yes, yeah, and that,
Sure.
that was great. But that's the thing about it is, if I hadn't done this, there's so many, even if I never have some of these people on this show, and me and Uncle Slam never get to sit and interview these people, we're having conversations with people that we never thought we would ever have a conversation with.
Yeah.
I got to tell you my Italian story. Is it okay if I do?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was in this pattern. I was painting all these legendary girls and stuff. I was able to like hook up with Medusa. I did a piece for her, and she sent me a video back of her unwrapping it and stuff. I was kind of addicted to it. You know what I mean? It was, just making people happy and getting that adoration from these amazing, superheroes. But so that was going and going, and I was watching Raw one night, and like, God, I love it. I love it. I got to do a painting today, So I talked to a photographer that had done a shoot with her, Lady Georgia, and I asked if I could use one of her photos and do this. It's kind of like a fashion shoot. It wasn't really a wrestling shot, So I worked on this painting of Natty, and it came out really good. It was. I'm still proud of it. It's at her house. So anyway, I talked to the photographer that shot her on that shoot, and I said, "Is there any way you could contact Natty and help me get this painting to her?" And she wasn't sure she was comfortable doing that, and I totally understand that. I was okay with that. And I said, "Do you have any advice for me, like how I could get this painting to Natalia?" And she said, I would just put the address of the WWE headquarters in Connecticut on it and ship it. I said, "What? Okay, thanks." So I did it. I wrapped it up and I, addressed it WWE Connecticut, and, sent it off. And I was pretty sure that I would never hear from that piece again. I was just like, it's gonna go and it's gonna be thrown in some room or something, and eventually thrown out, by interns or something. So about 3 weeks go by, and I'm on to my next thing. I did a piece for Thunder Rosa.
Okay.
And it came out so nice, and she did a video for me, and I was, I get really emotional about this stuff. But anyway, so about 3 weeks go by, and I get a Natty Nightheart tag alert. I was like, well, that's strange. So I go on Instagram, and there's a photo of my painting, and I see like a thumb, like holding the painting, like this. And I said, damn it, it's Natalia's thumb, So she, that evening.
That picture right there, sir?
No, that's much
not that
later.
one? Okay.
Yeah, that's much later.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got a few. But anyway, she put my piece, she shared my piece on her page. So all of a sudden there's 1,000 likes on it. Then there's like 1,500 likes. Then there's 2,000 likes on it. I usually get about 15 to 20 likes on my paintings, when I post them. So I was like, man, this is the coolest thing ever. So I stayed up till about midnight. I got up the next day, didn't really think about too much. I logged in about 10 o'clock. There were like 30,000 likes on it, and people like Raquel Rodriguez commenting on it and stuff. Natty, that's beautiful. I had a heart attack. You know what I mean? I thought my phone was gonna melt. It was just totally ridiculous. But that piece ended up getting 42,000 likes, man. I was just exploded. It was unbelievable.
See,
So,
and it's small things like that, like you said, one day will just break that door open for you. You just have to be persistent with it.
I told Natalia she wields the internet like Luke Skywalker wields a lightsaber, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because she just makes things happen, man. It's just incredible. I've known she's got 6 million Instagram followers. I don't even understand, So anyway, we hit it off and went back and forth and stuff, and I ended up doing a cool piece, a pretty big piece, bigger than this, of her dad and Brett. A classic shot with their titles and stuff, and she loved it. He helped me pick out the photo. It was something she wanted. And then we just became friends, Like, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm just friends with Natalia now. And it's like,
Well,
what?
if you can, I'm going to send you my phone number, and you can tell your friend that if she ever wants to come on our show. No, I'm just joking.
No, stranger
I thought
things.
you're going to ask the pass it along for like you trying to get a date or something.
I heard she's a good interview.
I would love, good or bad, it's Natalia Neidhart. You think I ain't
She's
got
so awesome.
questions for days? Not only that, I know Uncle Slam here. Uncle Slam's a huge Bret Hart fan. See,
Yes.
Yeah,
just
me too.
another, see, that's just another thing that me and him argue about. He's Team Bret, I'm Team Sean. So it's like, DX Heart Foundation over here, man. It's like all, but no, what I'll do is I'll mail you one of our cards. I'll mail you a couple, and you can mail one to her. And I'm just joking.
I'll do it.
Hey, I'm trying, man. I'm trying my best to get as many people on here as I can.
Hey, she might be watching right now.
And if you are Miss Neidhart, please, we would love to talk to you. I know I'm a Sean fan, but hey, before the Rockers came, the Hart Foundation was there. So, I got a little bit of love for you, okay. I'll just
He'll be a Hart fan for at least one day.
Nice save.
right. That's exactly it. Oh man. Let's see here. What other questions do I have for you? So is it only paintings, or do you do any other kind of art? Do you do any kind of photography or anything like that?
Not really photography. I did a little bit of sculpture for a couple of years. I had like a blip of sculpture. I was doing these polymer clay Godzillas and King Kongs and stuff like that.
Okay.
It gave me a different perspective on things, though. 'Cause I was building them out of, I'd build the wire armature and build everything over it. And it taught me a lot, but it kind of faded off. The painting, I'm painting all the time, man. I don't have time to sculpt stuff and do other things, you know.
Right.
So a lot of weekends, people, what are you doing? I'm working. Gotta work. I'm always
totally
behind.
get that. I totally get that. If I'm not actually up behind the camera, I'm reaching out to people, you know, trying to
Yeah.
get people on the show and stuff like that. Yeah, it's Uncle Slam said it a few months ago. This has become almost a second job. But
Oh, yeah.
if,
Sure.
if we want it to succeed, it's got to, you know. I'm going to actually put some of your paintings up on the screen and you can tell us about some of them.
Okay.
I notice this is Holly Hood, Haley J.
That's right.
I have reached
Oh, wow.
out to her. I think I reached out to a fake profile. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd love to
beautiful.
get her on the show just because of the
We'll
fact
talk
that.
about that. We can totally talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
help you out however I can.
I was watching a little documentary or something like that, and it was talking about her story. And that's one thing
Wrestlers.
that kind of inspired me and everything was, you know, with the way she was living before, and I don't want to speak on it. I'll let her speak on it. But just like, you know, it was saying something about somebody was trying to rob her and her child was in the house at the same time. And it just totally turned. Plus she stands and does that slap competition stuff.
Oh
And I
my
got
God,
news
I
for you,
know.
man. I would not let somebody slap me like that. But yeah,
Boy,
but yeah,
man,
we'll
you're
definitely
talking
talk to her.
about that Netflix series on OVW, right?
That is exactly what it was. I'm glad you
Okay.
said that because I could
I
not
got a
remember
brief
what that was.
I got a brief story about that too, if I may.
Okay,
Just
go ahead.
two-
Go
2
ahead.
minutes. I got a buddy that I've known my entire life. I wasn't aware of this show.
I got a buddy that I've known my entire life.
The
I wasn't aware of this
miniseries.
show.
He recommended
Miniseries.
that show to me, Wrestlers.
He recommended
you know?
that show to me, Wrestlers. You know?
I would say halfway through the first
I would
episode,
say
I
halfway
was
through
already
the first
finding these
episode,
people on
I was
Facebook
already
and trying
finding
to
these
hook up
people
with
on
them.
Facebook and trying to hook up with
I was so fascinated by
I
that
was so
show
fascinated by that
instantly,
show
and I am still in OVW.
in OVW.
I mean, I just,
I mean,
it's so,
it's
that
so,
promotion is
that
so
promotion
important
is
to
so
me.
important to me.
Yeah.
I paint a
I
lot of
paint a lot of
OVW girls
OVW girls
over and over again,
over
and I
and
love
over
it.
again, and I
I
love
love
it.
it. They really made
They
me a
really made
family
me a
member,
family
you know?
member, you know?
And
Yep.
And
yeah, it's been,
it's been.
I finally got
I
to go
finally
meet
got to go
some of
meet
them
some
about
of them about
6-7 weeks
7
ago.
weeks
I'd never
ago. I'd
been
never been
to a live
to a
show
live
down in
show down in
Louisville, and I
Louisville,
got to
and I
go,
got
and
to
it
go,
was
and
just,
it was
it was amazing.
amazing.
It was just amazing.
Yep.
I walked in, everybody in that arena seemed like they knew me, and I had no idea why. But they've all been following my Instagram, you know. I just had no idea. I talked to 25 people that night at the Hot Point Davis Arena that I had no idea anyone was even aware of me.
Yep.
So it just goes on and on. Like, it's just one amazing thing after another.
It just goes on and on.
Seems to occur to me. I just fall ass backward into this incredible stuff, and I really don't know. I think I'm just so damn stubborn that I won't stop, you know, so I just keep going and fight my way through.
And that's what you like I said, you know, earlier, you have to have that mentality.
Absolutely.
You have to have that I'm not going to quit. You're not, you know, this is what I want to do. You know, even if I got to do other things until I get to that point,
Yeah.
I'm still going to do this.
Yeah.
And
I don't have a plan B.
Right.
There you go.
I don't. I have nothing. I have nothing. No interest, nothing to go.
Plan A will either work or it won't work.
Yeah, I don't want to go work at Walmart, you know. And no offense to the fantastic people that do. It's just I don't do well in that kind of world.
Well, you know, work is so defined by different, you know, things. You know, work for you may not be work for me.
Right.
You know, some people love to clean.
Yeah.
I ain't one of them people.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
but you know, I know your version of work is totally different than my version of work.
Sure.
You know, or it can be. You know what I'm saying? That's why, yeah, it's you gotta find. I believe you used the word muse. You got to find your muse in life. And that's
Yeah.
and that's really what it is. It's what it's all about. Find something that you love, and find a way to do something with it.
Right.
That's what we've done with this podcast.
Well, that's what you're saying. You can find a muse in anything.
Yep.
I mean, an accountant can find a muse in his whatever, abacus or whatever the hell.
Right. I'm gonna stick a
But,
few more of your pictures up here.
Oh,
Let
yeah.
us know about this one.
Freya the Slaya. So I got this idea that I wanted to work on people multiple times. I thought it would improve my technique if I got familiar with a couple of faces and revisited them. And this absolutely people like Freya, and I've got a couple other official HettrickArt users. Those people that lent me their image really turned me into a much better, more confident painter. I really turned the corner after I started that project. My first Freya piece was a little rough. I'll be honest. Freya, you know it. But my second was a lot better, and my third was insane. There was a definite momentum with each piece, and I have found that process repeats itself no matter who I'm working with.
Yep.
So muses are. I didn't go to art school. They're my art school. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And they're so sweet for doing it.
Yeah.
They put up with so much for me, you wouldn't believe it.
Yep. I believe here's another one.
Noel Summit, Marianne.
All righty, let's see. That's the Hollywood, Hollywood. I want to say Hollywood, but Hollywood Haley J. And I love that play on her name.
The day I finished that piece, and I walked away from it for a couple hours, and I walked back in the room to see it. I have to get away from them when they're done. When I walked in the room and saw that, I was impressed.
Yeah.
It really was. I was like, I don't know how I even made that.
I couldn't do it.
I don't remember it really. I'm working on these sections of the canvas that are this big at a time, right? Which is all kind of a micro paint. So by the time I'm done, it's all mixed up, and a lot of it I don't even remember.
Yep.
Which sounds crazy. But it's true.
I'm looking at these other pictures you've got up here.
I could never teach someone to paint.
That's me. I'm horrible at trying to teach somebody something, but just get out of my way and I'll do it in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying?
Think someone would go insane if they worked in my style.
Let's see. Here's one of our good friend, Miss Tiffany Baxter from last week.
One of my favorite people.
Yes, the Conspiracy Smoke Show. I'm not even going to lie. When I first started talking to her to get her on the show, I thought she had her own podcast called the Conspiracy Smoke Show. And I was like, that's perfect. Even if even if you don't, you now have a podcast name for after, after your wrestling career.
I think she did. Maybe. I'm not perfectly clear.
She told us that Sam Tripoli gave her the name, the Conspiracy Smoke Show. And I fell in love with her when she mentioned the name Sam Tripoli. But because I love Sam. I love his shows and everything. And the fact that she knows him just makes it even that much better and everything. And like I said, 7 degrees of separation. When 3 years ago, when I was at work listening to Sam Tripoli's podcasts, when did I ever think that I would literally be one person away from, the existence of him? I know somebody he knows personally, that wasn't happening 3 years ago.
No, that's how it works. So these little introductions and things happen. And it's like, I don't know.
It's definitely.
I've got so many lucky breaks, man,
Yep.
It almost seems like it's meant to be. It feels that way to me.
Who is this?
That's Katie Gannon,
Katie Gannon.
King Katie
King
Gannon
Katie Gannon.
from
From
OVW.
OVW.
Okay.
She does
She does
redneck
redneck
brawl too.
brawl too.
There's Freya. That's actually about 7 weeks
7
ago.
weeks ago.
I drove
Okay.
that down. It's the first time I'd ever pulled onto the lot of the Hot Point Davis Arena. I pulled in and Freya the Slayer was standing there. I almost fell out of the car, man. It was so cool to finally meet her. I had done 4 or 5 paintings for her, never met her. So I got to meet her and Noel and lovely Miss Larkin and a couple other people. And what a night, you know, what a night. I was in heaven.
Hey, I love it. I love hearing people's stories and everything of how, they get into the business, because eventually we're going to have a story to write too, because like I said, it's just the way, I don't know if you know the promotion, Elite Wrestling Alliance out of Danville in Richmond, Kentucky.
I think I followed them.
Adrian Alexander and that group, man, they wonderful people. And I fully, I don't know exactly how Uncle Slam feels, but I'm sure he feels similar, that if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have had the start that we had. They gave us a foothold.
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
Good
and
way
it
to
was,
put it.
yes, because that's exactly what he told us. He said, because we went to dinner or lunch with him and was asking him, hey, we were just, honestly and truthfully, we went into the interview thinking we're going to ask if maybe every now and then we can get an interview with one of the wrestlers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or him or something like that. We were just looking for an interview with somebody in the business. And by the time we left, this man was generous enough to look at us and say, you can come to every show. You can set up a table and sell your merchandise. And, I'll help you get some introductions kind of, so that way you can get some people on your show. And that's basically, he didn't offer us a guarantee of anything,
Right.
but he gave us an opportunity.
yes.
And I know it's crazy to say that because it's wrestling, and that's an old cliche, especially in the WWE. We don't sell guarantees, we sell opportunities.
Right.
And that's what he gave us. So for that, I'm forever grateful and in debt to him for that.
Sure.
We wouldn't be sitting here where we are.
Well, yeah, man, I know. There's 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7 people that I'm pretty indebted to as well.
Yep.
Uh,
It's an awesome community to be involved in. It's definitely an awesome community to be involved in. It really is, because it's you hear all these horror stories about wrestling and stuff and everything, and maybe it's because it was a little bit worse back in the older days and stuff and everything. But man, I have never met anybody in this business that has been hateful, has been rude, has been, anything but helpful.
I haven't encountered anyone like that
And I love it. It's awesome. They say, Uncle Slam says it all the time too, don't meet your heroes. But I think on an individual basis, that's probably a good advice. But I am so thankful I have met some of these people.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And independent wrestling to me is higher on the scale than all these major promotions.
I completely agree.
It's more intimate. They care about the fans. And I don't know. I don't want to go off on a tangent or anything.
Well, for me, from my perspective, like the indies are more punk rock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm punk rock. I got fired from Kmart for getting a mohawk in 1984, and my uncle was the damn district manager of Kmart, so it was a huge family scandal.
Wasn't no blue light special on that aisle, was
No,
there?
man. The specials were over, believe me.
Right.
Wow.
Along with the 80s. Man.
Thank God.
I don't know, man. I kind of like the '80s and all the nostalgia and everything. It's once you got past that, shit started going downhill.
Oh, I barely got into the 80s. Ooh,
Oh man. Well, I've only got a couple more questions for you, and then I know Uncle Slam. He always asks people a few questions and everything before we get out of here and
cool.
everything. But
Am I
so
doing
like
all right? I've never
you,
done this.
you are doing fine, man. Yeah, like I said,
Right.
I was really worried about how we were going to do a conversation about wrestling and art, but it's turned out great and everything. Plus, now that I know you're a fan and everything, man, I don't know if you know, but after we get off with you about 9:30, we're going to be starting a show with some other people. That is we're doing the tournament for the greatest heavyweight champion of all time. So we're breaking it down by different companies and everything, and we're down in the first round to the last two companies, which is the WWF and WCCW and world class down in Texas. But yeah, man, when we do like our tag team or something like that, we'll have to get you on an episode and everything, and you can help us decide who the greatest of all time.
Are you
And
kidding? I love that.
Yeah.
that sounds good. Yeah, we'll definitely have to reach out and everything. We like having a diverse group on here. You know what I'm saying? We want everybody that has anything to do with wrestling. I don't care if you're a referee. I don't care if you tightening up the bolts on the ring every day. I want your
I think it
perspective
all
on the
matters.
business. Yeah, we want everybody's perspective on here.
Sure.
But anyways, I'll quit rambling. So, as far as HettrickArt, what is next for you, and are there any upcoming collections, exhibits, or special projects you're excited about?
I think all my projects are special projects.
There you go. There you
I
go.
get so jazzed about starting a new piece. I don't know how I could be more excited about something. Because by the time I have a subject picked out, and an image, I am so teed up to just go out and be excellent. Um, yeah, my life is a special project. It is. This is the most satisfying thing I've ever done in my life. And I mean, I was in a really great band in New York, and I played South by Southwest, and I toured the US and Canada with my band, and
Okay.
I sung with Joey Ramone's birthday, those are amazing bands, but I just,
I can respect that. My grandfather got to play the Grand Ole Opry a couple of times, so
well,
I can understand what I get what you're saying.
sure.
I understand how important, big that is in
Oh,
your life.
it was my world.
South by Southwest and stuff like that. Yeah, that's big things.
Best
You know.
thing in the world.
How many bands who are huge, go through places like that and everything. That's something people don't think of, a lot when they see a big band come up and everything.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, they
success
think they
isn't
just appear out of nowhere.
success doesn't mean you got on MTV.
Nah.
Success means you done something you loved and it wasn't a bust. You know, that's success.
Well, here's the thing. With what I'm doing, I don't even care if it's a spot.
Right.
I'm gonna keep doing it.
That's it.
I'm sold out to this completely.
Yep.
What I do. So, been thick and thin.
Doing what you love.
That's it. So do you ever see yourself like branching out and doing like, becoming, I guess, the artist of the wrestlers, and branching out doing like more male wrestlers or managers or
Yeah,
anything?
I could see doing that.
Like, I
did the
think
one
it would
Paul
be
Bearer
awesome.
piece.
Right. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just going to say, I think it would be awesome to see, because I think you're really good.
Thank you.
I can't even draw, I can't draw a stick figure that good. So, you're doing something I can't do.
I did a really, and I'm not trying to blow my own horn, but I did a really nice thing with a British Bulldog, man.
Okay.
Georgia really liked it. Like, she was really touched. It's hanging in her home. It's such an, somebody would do that and want that, but Yeah, I could see doing that. You know what? One more. I did a painting of Jack Vaughn. You know who he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The
The
veteran.
veteran.
I'd
He
love to
did
have
a
him on the
he
show
did a
too.
reel one day, and he was sitting in his car, and he was talking about telling his other wrestlers, stop using AI in your flyers. Man. Like he went on this tangent, and I was so moved by this reel. You know, it was like Moses or something. You know, I was like glowing. I was like, I have to contact Jack Vaughn immediately. And so I wrote him and I said, I usually paint the ladies. You know? But I just based on what you said in that reel, man, I'm gonna do a piece for you and send it to you. And he was like, "Oh God, yeah, go ahead." And it came out great. He sent this amazing photo back with it. So yeah, I'll paint some men. Sure, why not?
Well, my final question for you before I hand it off to Uncle Slam here is, if you could paint one moment, and it's the last painting that you ever could do, if you had to paint one classic moment in wrestling history, what would that painting be?
The slam.
The Andre Slam?
Yeah.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
The shot before the slam, though, where they're kind of facing off, you know?
Yeah.
Have you seen that photo? I'm sure you have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I believe it's in our.
He's just a house.
Yep.
I think I'd want to do that.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Maybe
Well, Uncle Slam, I'll let you have it, and yeah,
All right,
we'll let
I
you
only
get
got a
out of
couple
here.
questions.
Hey, thanks. Yes, sir.
All right. Now you being an artist and being a very like creative person, what are your thoughts on AI as being a creative person? Are you for it, against it? Is it a tool? Like, is it taking over? Is it taking away from things?
I work on a painting for 5 or 6 days. And, you know, somebody works on a painting for 30 seconds and AI on their phone and puts it out. I feel insulted by it. Especially when they put it out and say, I did this painting.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't say because you did it. I guess you can tell where I'm going. I'm not a big fan of AI art. Maybe it could have its place somewhere or something, but I see so many portraits of people in my HettrickArt feed that aren't painting that people are saying they are, and they're not. I just did this portrait. No, you didn't. So I don't like the way it's being used. I'm sure it has its place, you know, somehow. It's a fascinating technology, but I don't want AI actors in my movie. You know what I mean? That means actors are staying home.
Yeah, exactly.
And
They're not
guess
getting
what?
paid. Yeah.
If people start going buying these prints that are AI done, that look like, you know, Van Gogh did or something,
Yeah.
I'm out.
Right.
I know artists have most of them have a very strong opinion one way or the other when it comes to AI and art or whatever.
I think it's
And I know a lot of them
threatening
are
to
against it.
visual art. I'm just not. I'm not down with it. You gotta be honest. I'm not.
Most artists are that way. Like I said, I've kind of found like most of them are like, you know, it's not really art. It's kind of just ripping people off. You know what I'm saying? It's like a cheat or something like it. You know, it's kind of like you said. They're not really doing the work, but they're claiming that it's their work.
Right. I just did this painting. It's like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
You're deluded, you know?
Well, I just want to make it very clear that as far as an artist, I have zero artistic and I ain't got any of it in my finger or nothing. So yes, that background is 100% AI.
You know what? And that's fine, man.
If I could do it, I would. I promise.
there's no
I'm
way
just
I could
now
come in there
learning
and do all that
Microsoft
lettering.
Paint. I'm learning Microsoft Paint right now, okay, so that I
Like I
can do
said,
things.
Like I said, I think there's a place for it. I do.
Yes.
I think there's a place for it.
I don't think don't like you said, don't use it and then turn around and say I'm an artist. No,
I
you're not.
don't like when
You're
it's
a very
misrepresented as something real because it's
you
not.
know how to write things down in detail
Right.
is what you know how to do.
Right.
I think I can enunciate it and write things down very good for AI, but I'm not an artist in any way, shape, or form.
What's your background? Looks good.
Looks good.
I appreciate it.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. All right. And last question. If you could
Sorry,
go
I got
visit
Go
your
ahead.
younger self in the past, what information or what knowledge like would you share with them to kind of enlighten them about the future? You know what I'm saying? You know, kind of like hindsight is 2020.
So if I was talking to 18-year-old me,
Yep.
don't drink, man.
Don't drink.
Don't drink. I spent 25 years of my life doing that. That's why I had 16 jobs. That's why my band didn't get a record deal when the label came to look at them. Horrible relationship stuff. I was Jekyll and Hyde. I would disappear. The moment I stopped drinking, my whole life changed. So that would be my number one thing. Just don't go down that path, you know.
That's
It's
awesome.
a pretty bad detour.
It is, and
Yeah,
I you know I don't want to cause any shade, and I don't know if Uncle Slam has, but I've had my life touched by addiction, not personally, but through other people that I've loved and everything. So yeah, I love to see people who can sit back and own it, but also they don't wallow in it, but they
No,
own
I
the
don't.
responsibility and go, and it's all about moving forward.
I've
You
never
know,
been to an AA meeting. I just stopped drinking.
it's a chapter. It's a chapter of life that I had to go through.
Yeah, and I mean, I had a lot of fun too. Don't get me wrong, but the rewards weren't enough to stay in that lifestyle. I don't think I'd be here if I continued. So yeah, I feel like I'm 30 and I'm going to be 60 in February. My life literally started over. I mean, it really was born again in a sense. And yeah, here I am.
I would never guess that you were getting ready to hit 60, man.
I know. Like when he
would
said
not.
that, I was like, nah.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Uncle Slam, you got anything else for him?
No, sir. I'm tapped out for tonight.
Well, before we get out of here, GB, I'll let you plug anything you want to plug and do all that good stuff and let everybody know where to find you and stuff.
Yeah, I'm HettrickArt on Facebook, Instagram, and I just started a TikTok today.
Okay. We'll have to. I'll go on the Headlocks page and we'll follow you.
My cousin B, who is the real painter in the family, 3 years ago told me to get on TikTok. You got to do it. You got to do it. So it took me 3 years to grant that request. On TikTok.
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm sitting here and I'm like, I feel like I could close my eyes. And I mean this. This is not an insult, but I feel like I could close my eyes when you talk, and I feel like I'm listening to Bret Hart. You've got that real low voice, but that doesn't get loud or anything. No, it's not an insult. I just noticed it. I just noticed it and everything. Like I was sitting here,
Hey,
I was like, I know he's like, now just say Bill Goldberg, and you'll be okay. All right, you got anything else you want to plug, buddy?
Not really. I'm just plugging away at these paintings. And if you want to stop in my Instagram, I'm always showing what I'm doing. I put up progress shots and videos and reels and stuff. And I'm pretty one-track mind kind of guy. So I'm usually just working on a piece and promoting that. So stop by and come
Yes.
by and order something. I'll paint anything you want.
That's what I was gonna say, man. He likes money too, so send him commission work and
I
stuff.
am available for commission. I'll do anything.
There you go. Sounds good to me. Well, man, we appreciate you being here. Like I said, I didn't know where this was gonna go. I was like, let's
Me
just
neither.
do it and see what happens and everything, you know. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? We sit and stare at each other for 50 minutes. You know?
Right. Could have passed out. I'm not sure.
Right. You know, we could have just been like, all right, well, you know, it's been 10 minutes and we have nothing else to talk about, but we
See
haven't.
you
We've
later.
covered- Right. We've covered a full hour and everything. But yeah, we'll definitely have to get you back on and stuff and get you on some of our tournaments and
Oh, that'd be
stuff like
totally
that.
cool.
Yes.
I'm
Well,
at
like
your
I said,
disposal, gentlemen.
we appreciate it. We appreciate you being here, buddy. And Uncle Slam, like I said, you got anything else for this gentleman?
No, sir, I don't today. Tapped out.
All righty. Well, guys, I appreciate everybody being in here in the comments and everything. Remember to go like, share, follow, subscribe, all of our stuff. Go do all his stuff. Referees hit that 3. Oh, we got a comment just came in. Let's see what it says. Great job, guys. From Melissa Conti. I think that's I don't want to mispronounce your name. Melissa. I know that. And thank you, ma'am. Jest 133 says AI is nothing but cheating. She also says you're doing a great job, GB.
Thanks.
And Jess just says this was awesome. Well, if it's awesome, do us a favor and go hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We definitely need the likes and subscribes.
I thought somebody was going to say I owed him money or something.
Yes, go blow that YouTube up, and we appreciate you being here, Jess. We appreciate you commenting. We will be back in about 30 minutes to do our second show. We always do a double header on Fridays. So yeah, we appreciate everybody being here, all the fans that, you know, Mr. GB has brought with him. So yeah, referees hit that 3 count. So we're going to ring that damn bell.